What's up, people? What's up, kings and queens? It's your girl, Nicole, plant-based Nicole Richey. This is not my usual podcast. Today I'm doing a slightly spontaneous interview with Coach Robert. Some of you might have seen my interview with Coach Robert. We did episode 3, part 1 and 2. So if you didn't get to see that, make sure you go check that out. You can either see it on our Instagram page or you can go to my bio and find it on YouTube. Hey, Coach Robert. So I'm going to bring him on. He did 7 days on fruits and juices. So I was interested in just asking him about his experience and getting all the details. But make sure you guys go check out episodes 3, part 1 and 2, because we had a really, really good interview. I was able to find out about his story, about his 90-day fitness program, about his detox program. So make sure you guys go check that out. So I'm going to bring him on now. Coach, can you request to join? Hope everybody's having a great day. Share the live, share the live. All right.
Peace. How you doing today?
How are you?
I'm good. Wet, but I'm good.
Is it raining?
It's Hurricane Nicole or whatever this thing is passing by us.
Why they gotta be named after me?
You know what I'm saying?
Hurricane Nicole? That's hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious, but I'm sorry that you're dealing with that out there. It's crazy.
It's just a bunch of rain, a little wind.
Man.
It ain't nothing crazy.
But you're doing okay?
I'm good. I just came back in the house from doing a fitness with the assisted living facility nearby. So
Oh, really?
the rain don't stop nothing. It ain't. If the there's a saying in Florida among true Floridians: if the Waffle House ain't closed, ain't nothing stopped.
I heard that. So wait, tell me about this. You said living facility?
Yeah, so there's an assisted living facility nearby that I volunteer my time to, and I go in and I do a hour workout with the elderly people there.
Oh, wait, I gotta do one of you. That is so sweet. You volunteer?
Yes.
Aw, that's a blessing. That's really nice of you. Get him in the shape. Whoop him in the shape. So, okay. I know I've interviewed you twice now. I just love interviewing you, by the way.
I appreciate it.
I wanted to talk to you, as you know, I wanted to talk to you about your 7 days. It just sounds so refreshing when you said you're doing that. 7 days on juices and fruit. Like, that just sounds like I want to skip. So, okay. Why did you do that? Why did you go on 7 days of fruits and juices? Let's start with that. Why did you do that?
It was a simple way to do a reset for my body. So for the weeks before that, well, the weekend before I started was Vegan Sexy. I did Vegan Sexy San Diego. So that weekend I ate a lot of rich foods, a lot of fatty foods, a lot of sugar foods. Plus just eating out constantly. And then in the weeks before that, I was super busy. So I was eating a lot of convenient and a lot of processed foods. And I came to San Diego with a slight cold, and the weather out there didn't do me no justice. So it's like, it's just time to reset everything because eating the foods that I ate in San Diego, I knew was causing more mucus, but I was so enjoying myself. So I came to eat. So that's what I did.
Right.
But I did it knowing what the repercussions would be. So I did it also knowing that I was coming home to do a juice and fruit fast. So it was really just a way to reset my body without having to go through my detox program, because I didn't want to go through that portion. I wanted something that was super simple and a little bit more gentle. It's harder. It's crazy to say that it's simpler, but in my 14-day detox, there's cooked food, and with this, I didn't want to have any cooked food, which I started paying for it toward the end. But we'll get to that part of the story in a minute.
But also your detox pro, doesn't it make you go to the bathroom like extreme? Go to the
No,
bathroom?
no, it's not super extreme. You go
Oh,
to the
okay.
if you are not used to going to the bathroom, yes, it's
Hmm.
going to feel extreme.
Oh, okay.
But I already go regularly, so it's not one of those things like I was backed up anything. I knew I felt a little bloated because I had been eating a lot of gluten. But
Oh, yeah.
outside of that, I knew what it was about to be. So in the 7 days that I did it, I actually ended up dropping like 4 or 5 pounds of waste and water weight.
Oh, that's perfect for me. I need to,
Yeah, so it's not
and I
necessarily
like
perfect
that.
for me, but it helped me reset my body to where I when I checked my watch, I was at like 8% body fat and my water was low, so I was super lean. And now that I'm eating again, I know that I'm at the exact starting point of where my body is physically, and now everything is just to build onto it. So it's time for me to
Oh, that sounds so
take
good.
my bodybuilding a little bit more.
Uh-oh. Coach, you got stuck.
All right, I'm not froze. Hello from Baltimore.
Coach, you got stuck and you were breaking up for a minute.
Okay, my internet service has been janky lately. Um,
Oh no.
so there's two approaches to fitness. You can be fit for just for health, or you can take a fitness approach where you're really building your body to have a specific physique. So because I've been super focused on business, my physique has not been a focus of mine. It's just working out and doing enough stuff to stay healthy and fit. So now it's
Okay.
time for me to reshift my focus and really focus on my physique again, like I did before. And so that was a part of the reset, was really getting my body back to its natural state, get rid of all the
Yes.
bloating and rebuild from a base level of scratch. That way, also people can see the transformation of what, because a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't build muscle with it being plant based." Watch.
So not true. So this is like a fresh start for you, a new beginning.
That's exactly
That's
what it is.
good. I do it from time to time, but I only do it for like 2 days.
Yeah, well,
When I'm
it's not
all
shy because
fruit.
7 days is not easy. By day
It's not.
six, by day six, I was full, but I was hungry.
Mm.
So I was full because I was drinking. I was still eating certain nuts because I found out in the research, cashews are actually a fruit.
That's crazy.
Walnuts are fruit. Most of the
What?
grains, yeah, most of the grains are just dry fruit.
Wow.
When
Cashews
you
are
look
fruit?
when you look at it scientifically. But if you look at most of the vegetables in the grocery store right now, they're misclassified as fruits because a fruit is any vegetable, well, any produce that has the seed on the inside. So tomatoes are not a vegetable; they're a fruit.
Yeah.
Cucumber,
Tomatoes,
cu-
cucumber,
all of that's all of that's
avocado.
all of that's
Those
fruit.
are the non-sweet fruits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And doing the research, so I was eating a lot of nuts, even so I was full, but I was still hungry. I was still missing something. I think that was part of the journey too, was overcoming the want for certain things. But yeah, so when I do these, it's more than just physical, it's also mental because
Hmm.
it was the challenge of not doing something for 7 days. I'm pretty disciplined in certain aspects, especially with my eating. I think that's the area where I'm most disciplined in my life.
That's
However,
good.
in resetting disciplines there, it helps feed into other areas. Because, like, if you can do this, so the same way that I talk about working out is not working out, it's training. It's hard for a reason, so that you get used to doing hard things, so that when you have to do hard things in regular life, you've already trained for it.
Right. Exactly. Thank you all that are on here and joining us. So how are you feeling now? How are you feeling now? And then how were you feeling during the 7 days of eating fruits and juices?
So during, I felt good. However, it was because I was still super active, and throughout the 7 days, I had my sons with me. So it was a challenge energy wise for me, just because I was still doing so much. Some people it's a little bit different, but my metabolism's like, hey yo, run me my food. So it was a little bit of a challenge in that aspect, but I felt good. So I was never tired, I
Hmm.
just knew that I knew what my limits were.
Right. So, did you have any results besides? So you lost, you said 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah, that really wasn't the purpose of it. So I did
Yeah.
the result was really just to reset my body. So I got over the cold within a day.
Hmm.
I definitely got rid of the bloating and the excess fluid weight that I was carrying around, because that's really what it was. So because the weight loss was not an intention or a goal of it, it was
Right.
really just to reset how I was feeling.
It just
And
happened to
so
happen.
that it did do. I did feel better doing it. Dealing with the hunger was an aspect of the mental part, but not the body part, if that makes sense. Because I
Like, say that
wasn't.
again. Say that again.
So hunger is not, to me, hunger is a mental thing, not a body thing.
Really? Well, help me figure that out because when I be hungry, I wish I could
I
just.
say that not to say that when you're hungry, it's not your body asking for food, but oftentimes in our society we overeat. Even though we're eating healthy, we eat clean, we can go a long time. Our bodies can go a long time without eating, and in that time without eating, our body is actually converting the energy that it would use to digest food to heal the body. So all the time that we're hungry, we don't always need to eat. And so that's what I was like. It's more mental than physical, because you may be needing nutrients, but you may not necessarily be hungry. That's why a lot of people will eat some unhealthy food and then be healthy a few hours later or an hour later, because they didn't get the nutrients their body was looking
Right.
for. And so that's what I said. I was full, but I wasn't satisfied, because
Full but not some.
what I wanted was something savory, something salty, something
Yeah.
sweet, something that was actually sweet. So a lot of the fruit juices I were making were sweet, but they weren't sugar sweet. And so those are some of the things that I was craving. And that was also part of it, is getting over some of those cravings, resetting my gut microbe by giving it what it needed, not necessarily what it wanted. And so
Right.
that's why I say the hunger that I was feeling was mental, because I was satiated. I was literally full. If I ate something I couldn't, because I was full of fluid. However, I wasn't satisfied. I was still missing something.
Mm. That's a good, I like that. Like your body was satisfied because it had the nutrition it needed, but your mind was like wanting other things
Yeah, I was
that,
still craving other things, so I was hungry for that. I wasn't
hmm,
necessarily hungry.
right. Oh, that's good. I like that. Any negative, anything negative happen, like a bad detoxing?
Yeah, no, so because I'm used to it, and I don't eat super dirty, for lack of it, since we talk about clean eating, I don't eat super dirty. I didn't have a lot of reactions. The biggest thing for me was the low energy, and that's strictly because my body burns so much fuel because of my metabolism.
Okay.
And doing workouts, I'm running around with the kids, I'm balancing the business. So doing all of that stuff within the course of the day, I typically eat a lot. I'm a small dude, but I eat a lot. I eat 4 or 5 times a day, most days.
Mm,
And
mm-hmm.
so by cutting that back, where I'm only eating fruit and only having juice, like I said, I was full, but I wasn't satisfied, because I didn't have that variety of savory and salty to mix up the sweet. Plus, I was just tired of having sweet stuff. So I would make green juices that weren't sweet, but even the non-sweet green juices still had a sense of sweet. That they weren't a different flavor other than sweet to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Did you eat, because like if you're doing fruits, you could do non-sweet fruits too. So did you do like cucumbers, tomatoes, and avocados to kind of offset the sweetness as well?
So when I got super hungry, what I would do is I would take an avocado and sprinkle it with one of my seasonings that doesn't have any salt in it, and have that. And that was one of the filling things. That way I was still getting my healthy fats and everything that I still needed.
Yeah. Did you put some hot sauce on it?
No, I don't use hot sauce too much. Me and my digestive system, as I've gotten older, me and my digestive don't play with spicy like that too much.
Oh,
As a younger person, I really did went in hard on the spice, and so I think my digestive tract was like, you know what, we're gonna slow that down as you get a little
It
older.
was like
Yeah. 'Cause
negative.
I'm from St. Louis, so hot pickles was used to be a thing. It was nothing for us to go grab a hot pickle out. So my dad would take red peppers, dry them out, and then put them in the already hot pickle jar with the juice so that the pickles would get hotter.
I have never heard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Wait,
hot
red
pickles.
peppers are already hot. Red peppers are
Exactly.
already hot.
Exactly. But you take pickles, you take hot, like, so they make pickles that are regular pickles, and then they make hot pickles. My dad would take the hot pickles, take peppers, put them in the hot pickle jar so that they become hotter.
Oh Lord,
And this
that
this was
sounds
this
like
was
some
St.
pain
Louis.
right there.
But also in St. Louis, we had red hot riplets. We had, man, like eating hot stuff in St. Louis with nothing, and then you take red hot riplets and put hot sauce on it. So,
Ooh. I
yeah,
like
so
spicy, but I don't like it
yeah,
that
yeah. So
spicy.
as I got know that I really can't handle it, especially down here with all of the Caribbean. So they put Scotch bonnet and everything. It's like, yeah, we're gonna have to tone it down a little bit.
Right. I
But
heard
yeah,
that. So you
um,
said, oh, go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
but so as far as the negatives that I had was really just the lack of energy. So I was not able to be as active as I wanted to because I had to conserve it. I had to be mindful of how I use my energy.
Yeah, cause you do a lot of workouts daily. Somebody said I love hot pickles, and I saw my husband on here. He said 100% facts. I don't know. He said it probably a little bit earlier when you probably said something deep. um, he's in the other room. um, now I just lost my thought. Okay,
It's
no,
okay.
you
So,
said you didn't incorporate your detox program with this.
no,
Because that was a question I had. How often do you do this reset? Do you do this? Is this something you do like on a, like a quarterly basis, or just
I
when you
do.
feel
I
like
do.
you just ate too much junk or?
So I do some form of reset every quarter. Every 3 or 4 months, I do some form of reset, whether it's my full 14-day detox or something like this.
Uh-huh.
However, when I did this because I
Oh no, he's getting stuck again.
talk about the Scott.
Robert, Coach, you broke up again. I don't
All
know
right,
if he was
yeah. No, I
talking.
said no. I stopped. I heard you when it broke up. So what I said was this time I did it because I was listening to my body. I knew that I wasn't feeling in the best spirits, and I knew I had just ate a lot of greasy foods, a lot of mucus causing foods, and so I was like, it made sense. And I got the
Yeah,
not the new Nama right at the right time, so it was like might as well put this thing through its paces real quick.
yeah,
So it was all just good timing, perfect timing.
yeah. Your body lets you
And
know when it's time. Your body lets you
and
know
to
when it's
and,
time
and
for.
to and to teach Tina, don't talk about Scotch bonnet. I still eat it. You just don't leave the daggum bonnet in after you finish cooking. Take it out so I don't bite into it on accident.
Now, what you
Oh
talking
my.
about? What bonnet?
No, Scotch bonnet. So Scotch bonnet is a pepper that a lot of Caribbean people use to season their foods with. And so
Oh,
oftentimes
okay.
if you have rice and peas, Jamaican rice and peas is slightly sweet, but it's also slightly spicy because they cook it with Scotch bonnet pepper. But oftentimes, while it's cooking, they take the Scotch bonnet out so that it doesn't become too spicy. However, like if you eat real Jamaican jerk, if it's jerked correctly, it was jerked with Scotch bonnet in the jerk process.
Oh, okay.
That's what that's what
Heard
that's
of
what some of
Scotch.
the spice. Yeah.
I never even heard of that before. I learned something new today. So would you suggest somebody do this long term? Because there are people who actually do this as a lifestyle, right? Fruitarians.
Yeah.
What do you
So
feel about that? Do you think it's
it's not the lifestyle. It's not the lifestyle for me. If it
hmm
works for them, perfect. I'm not going to downplay anything because everybody has their path, and what works for some doesn't work for everybody. So it doesn't work for me just because the way my life is set up. And
yeah.
and with in order to be a fruitarian, in my opinion, South Florida is a good place, but you would really want to be in a Caribbean island or a more tropical place where you have a true wide variety of fruits.
Yeah.
Where you have an abundance of it available to you. And the cost is less because here in America, if you strictly ate fruits, just the amount that you would have to eat could become cumbersome. Now again,
Right.
I haven't done it, so I'm speaking on what I think I know and not what I actually know because I know of a few. I don't know. I know one person that's completely raw, I think, and then I've interviewed a couple people who have been on raw journeys for a long time, and they're doing just fine. So I know it's possible. I'm not
Hmm.
well versed in it enough to make it my lifestyle, and I know it takes a little bit more actively with your food, and I need to be able to prep food for a couple of days at a time. Sometimes, most
Mm.
days.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm relying on convenient foods.
Right.
So
Exactly.
for me, no. But for somebody who has a specific ailment or issue that they're working on, it's definitely going to be helpful because you're inundating your body with high nutrient foods that are one have the right phytonutrients, the antioxidants, the vitamin C, and all of the other phytonutrients and macronutrients that help with the healing process. And it
Yeah.
has the fiber that you need to help clear everything out and let any of the toxins that your body's releasing and bind and adhere to so that they can actually make your way out of your body.
Exactly. You're not cooking anything, so therefore you're not killing any of the nutrients. You're not killing any of the enzymes. You're getting everything, right?
Exactly. And that's why
Exactly.
I did a mix of fruit and juice because without the fruit, I wouldn't have had the fiber. I just would have had juice, which I'd have had nutrients, which is cool. However, I knew that my body would be releasing and I wanted to have some fiber to help move things along.
Right. Exactly. Because if you did just juices only, you wouldn't have any fiber. Oh, let's see. Somebody said something.
I
What does it
tried
say?
raw fruit and veggies. It was very hard. I lasted 5 days. On the other hand,
Mhm.
I did an all grape detox. I was surprised it was very easy and
Wow.
had so much energy. So again, it's different things because you were doing the. I'm not going to speak on why it was a difference, but that just goes to show you may have gone in with a different mindset into the all grape fast versus the raw. And when you're doing raw, if you don't have all the right recipes and everything, and you're just relying on salads, it can get a little like so get a little hard. However,
Yeah.
I've seen the way I've seen people do it, like that I could see doing that for longer times. However, now I eat probably 60, maybe 70% raw. I don't typically my first cooked meal isn't until 2 o'clock or later. And like today, I haven't had anything cooked. I've had a juice, I've had a smoothie, and I've had overnight oats.
Is this a normal thing like
That's
in the
that's a
mornings you eat
that's
more
a
raw?
normal day. That's a normal day for me. I
Yeah.
typically don't eat cooked food until afternoon, just because
Hmm.
I know how the digestive system and the circadian rhythm works.
Sounds like you almost sound like they call it raw till four almost.
Something like that. Something
You're
like
raw
that.
till two. Raw till two.
Just
Somebody
about.
teach Tina says she went 100 days raw and it was so good. Yeah, I the longest I've done it was 42 days and it is great. If you could stick through it, it
Yeah,
is
the longest
great. You
raw I've
feel
done is
great.
14.
You said 14?
Yeah, 14 is the longest I've done raw.
I feel like it's easier if I'm just at home, but if I start traveling with it or going to events and things, that's when it's
Yeah,
hard because,
it's
they
more
might not have
inconvenient
like,
than any.
huh?
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it gets a little tough. Like if you go certain events, um, and they might not have something for you, which is I guess why you got to eat before you go or bring your own, huh?
Exactly. Yeah,
So,
eating raw is more inconvenient than anything, especially if you're traveling, if unless you already have a set plan in place on how you plan on doing it. Because when you're at home, it's a whole lot easier because you can make the
much.
doughs, you can make the breads, you can make a lot of the heartier foods that take process. Because one of the things about eating raw is it is definitely a process to create meals that are not just the salad, are not just a piece of fruit, or not just
Hmm.
a vegetable, but to actually make delicious, flavorful, good looking meals. That's a bit more of a process. I've seen
Right.
it. it's doable. Like
The
I'm
raw gourmet stuff. Raw gourmet stuff.
yeah. And
Yeah,
so, and you want, if you're going to eat raw, you want to do it that way. One, so you don't get bored. Two, so you're still getting all the nutrients that you need and the full spectrum.
exactly. So,
Oh,
would you
she said it
suggest
does. Tina said it doesn't take a lot of planning, especially when traveling. Oh,
it
it
doesn't?
does. It does. No,
It
it
does.
does.
Yeah,
It does.
it
Okay, I was like
definitely
that.
does.
I was like that's counterintuitive, but hey, you lived the life better than me because 100 days is a long time. What does the typical
Exactly.
day or week consist of? Like a menu. It depends on what you're talking about. In my normal lifestyle, for me, uh, I'll have key lime water for breakfast, very first thing after rising to cleanse my system and cleanse my palate. I'll have a fresh juice. I'll have my smoothie. I'll have either overnight oats or cooked oats, depending on if I have my boys, or if I'm doing brunch, depending on if I'm feeling real hungry or they want a super big breakfast. I'll do pancakes and potatoes, but when I make my pancakes out of oat flour, and then for lunch, it'll be a salad or leftover from the night before. And dinner will be like tonight, I'm going to go make curry chickpeas and potatoes with
Mmm.
regular
Sound good.
potatoes with baked sweet potatoes on the side and some wild rice.
Yummy. That sounds real
So
good. You
it really just varies as to what mood I'm in, and the energy I have, and how much I really feel like putting into cooking. Believe it or not, I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't like being in the kitchen. It
neither
is
do I.
it is one place if I could avoid, I would. If I could hire somebody to come in and cook for me, I would. However, my life ain't set up like that just yet. I'm working on it. I'm working on
One
it.
day, one day.
Hey, I'm working on it. However, is cooking healthy is not hard. You can have most of your meals done in 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just I don't like doing it.
Look,
So
look.
so I so that I really have to like I'm convincing myself now to go get up and cook the meals I just told y'all about because I had already said that's what I'm gonna cook
Yeah,
myself
now you got to
earlier.
do it. And then you got to
Now I
take
got
pictures and show us. You
yeah,
got to
I
show
don't
us too.
know.
um,
But yeah.
so- I'm sorry.
No, I
So,
just said
okay.
but yeah. You go.
You said what?
No, I just said but yeah.
But yeah. So would you suggest somebody do this like for the purpose of weight loss or just
Mm,
for cleansing purposes? Because
no.
if they
I
do
don't
it just for
recommend
weight loss, right? They lose the weight, then they go back. They might gain it all back.
I don't recommend anybody do any detox of any kind of any sort for the intention of weight loss. Period. Now, you can detox as a part of a whole system and program
Hmm.
that will get you those results. The reason being, detoxing is a great way to reset your gut microbe, which is important in resetting your metabolism and helping you start to burn energy correctly. So, using it as a part of a plan and system that is going to also include healthy eating and movement, yes, you're going to see weight loss. But say, okay, I want to detox because I'm going on this cruise and I want to lose 10, 15 pounds
Yeah.
real quick. You probably will lose some weight, lose some water. But as soon as you go back to eating how you
Mm.
normally, regularly
Yeah.
eat, you're going to put that weight back.
Uh-oh. He's breaking up again. Come on, Jesus. Fix it. Fix it, Lord. Fix it, Lord. You broke
I'm
up
back.
again.
All right.
What's up with your
Um,
internet? It's never did this before.
I don't know, man. That's hurricane probably.
So I don't know if you said something in the last 15 seconds.
No, I did not stop because I can see when you said it, yours actually bleeped out, so I wasn't sure if it's yours or mine. I didn't know what telling.
Oh, okay.
But no, so with that said, I don't recommend anybody do a detox with the intention of losing weight unless they're doing it as a part of a whole system where they're going to detox, then eat correctly after, during, and
Mm,
after. so that they
Mm-hmm.
can maintain whatever results they do get.
Right. I
Because
got it. Cause like,
I actually include my 14-day detox program in my 90-day program for my clients. So it's
oh, you
helpful to
do.
do it as a part of. Yeah, it's helpful to do it as a part of because you're basically doing. Imagine, to put it in an analogy for you, you wouldn't take a race. No one would take a race car out into the Indy 500 without doing a tune up on the car first.
Right.
Doing a detox before doing the program is basically like doing a tune up on your body so that your body is ripe and ready for all the healthy eating and healthy movement that you're about to do over the next 90 days.
Right.
Because it removes
That's a
all
good
the waste.
analogy.
So by removing all the waste, by removing and resetting your gut microbe, now your body can actually absorb the nutrients from the healthy food that you're about to start eating. So now your body can maximize the energy use when you start working out.
Yeah. That's some good knowledge there. Thank you for sharing that. So you made your own juices, right?
Yeah.
About how much did you spend for that week of fruit? Because fruit is expensive because it's by the pound, right? And fruit is heavy. So since you did 7 days of fruit, how much did you spend for that week, roughly?
Maybe 75, maybe $75.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's,
That's about how much
that's what I'm sitting here calculating. Maybe because you got to think
for one person. That's pretty good.
bananas, cantaloupe, grapes. Well, and then I'm buying pineapples. My pineapples, I'm buying it at $2 a pineapple.
Oh, that's cheap.
Buy a bag of oranges for $5-6. Buy a bag of limes, lemons. So it's not as expensive as it looks, especially when especially when you invest up front on a really good juicer. I invested in the Nama, which is a super dope juicer. So I am actually getting more juice out of the produce that I put in it than I did if I put it in my Breville. My Breville was $150, and I'll probably get 25% more juice out of the same
Mhm.
amount of fruit out of my Nama. The Nama does cost $5.50. However, in the long run, it's going to pay off.
Right. So, Noni, what do you mean by please let us know,
Yeah,
bro?
no. So, Lady Key, she is dope. She has a juice cleanse program that she does, and for her 10-day juice cleanse, we spend $65 for one person. So, produce is cheap, especially when you do it the right way. So that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I was guesstimating. I was eating also, and that's why I say it was hard for me to take the bill away because I had my sons with me, so I was still grocery shopping for the whole house. So I'm like up to $75. It wasn't super hard. Oh my
I
God, I
feel like
paid
it depends on
$35
which.
for a
I
bag
feel
of
like it
organic
depends
grapes
on.
every 3 days for 6 weeks. It was very expensive.
I feel
Uh,
like it depends on what fruit you're buying because, like, I feel like bananas are cheap. I feel like if you buy the pineapples, they're usually like $2 or $3. That's pretty cheap for a big old pineapple. But I feel like when it comes to like buying um apples based upon the pound or pears or
it's still not that bad. It's still
grapes.
cheaper. And when you compare the price of fruit per pound to meat per pound, it's still cheaper.
Okay. Okay.
No
Well, maybe
matter.
it's cheaper where you
I'm not gonna
live.
say no matter what fruit because I was gonna say no matter what fruit, but then I just thought about how much soursop is per pound, and
Or durian.
yeah, soursop is like 7 to 9.99 a pound depending on when you get it. So
Mm.
that fruit, but soursop is an exotic fruit. However,
And
when
what
you
if
look at apples, apples are typically anywhere. If you're doing non-organic apples, they're $1.50 a pound most times, maybe $1.60. If you're
dang,
doing
where you live
organic,
at? See, it ain't like
and
that over here.
I'm thinking, well, no, you in California, everything costs $2 more.
Yeah, it's more expensive over here.
Nobody told you to live out there in the land of the rich.
Okay, and don't go
Because
to Whole Foods, and don't
when I
go to
came
Whole
to when I
Foods.
came to San Diego, I went into what is that store? Albertsons. I don't know whether it was because I was in downtown. downtown San Diego or what. But
Mm.
I bought a loaf of bread that pay $5 for here for $7 for $8 there. I paid $5.50, $6 for it here. It was $8.50, almost $9 there. So I paid
Woo.
$3 more for the same loaf of bread. Nah,
That's crazy,
yeah,
right?
everything
And,
costs more out there.
and then if I go to Whole Foods, it's even worse. Whole Foods Market,
Yeah,
like their
it's
grapes are like $5.99 a pound. That's crazy.
so a lot of people will look at me crazy when I say this, but I don't know where you are, but where I am, Walmart produce be on point most days.
Really?
They're organic. I got seeded watermelon. I mean, not seeded watermelon, seeded grapes in my refrigerator right now that I got from Walmart.
Hmm. Maybe I should stop knocking Walmart
I got organic strawberries, organic apples in my refrigerator right now from
from
Walmart.
Walmart. Wow.
Now, mind you, I do not agree with their business practices. However, I do agree their business practices do agree with my current budget.
Okay.
When I am in a different financial situation, I won't mind going straight to only to Sprouts and only to the farmers market and only to some of these other stores that
Yeah.
have better business practices.
Hmm.
However, right now, A, Walmart, Aldi. Now, Aldi has great business practices. Aldi, Trader Joe's, and if you go to Aldi, now their produce, you have to look through it sometimes, but
Yeah.
and you may have to use it a little bit more quickly, but that just means that you're planning properly. It,
See, we don't
I,
have that out. We don't have that out here. We have
y'all
Trader
don't,
Joe's though.
y'all
Aldi,
don't have Aldi up there?
I never heard of
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
But we
well,
do have
Aldi.
Trader Joe's.
So Aldi is not too far behind then, because Trader Joe's and Aldi are actually owned by the same. They're owned by brothers. They were started.
Okay.
They're different legs of the same company.
Okay. Yeah, and so I shop at Trader Joe's every week, and then we also go to Whole Foods, but we can only get like four things there. You know what I
And
mean?
I wouldn't say Walmart for fruit only. So I was just in So from Walmart, I buy my pastas there because it's
Hmm.
$1 to $2 cheaper than buying the
That's
same
cheap.
pasta somewhere else.
Hmm.
And I'm not
Hmm.
saying and I'm buying chickpea or lentil pasta. So I'm not
Okay.
buying we're not talking about wheat or white pasta here.
Lentil, and it has a lot of protein. A lot of protein.
Walmart is stepping their game up because at the end of the day, it's about business. We live in a capitalistic society, and Walmart knows that people are spending money on healthier stuff. So Walmart is positioning themselves to take market share from Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Sprouts, and all these people. And they're doing it at a lower cost.
Hmm.
How they're doing it probably is where where we disagree on business practices. However, if you're tight on budget, you don't have the moral ground to stand on what their business practices are. I mean,
You gotta.
some people probably gonna crucify me for this, but that's how I feel. Like right now, I can afford to go to Walmart, so that's where I'm going.
That's where you gotta go.
I would rather go over there and buy healthy food and have enough to feed my family for the week than to go somewhere else spend a higher amount because they have better business practices. But now I can only feed my family for 2 less days. No, it just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Now what you do is you work to get yourself in a better financial position so that you can work with the
Right.
company that you're in. But I think I've got kind of
Exactly.
sidetracked from here. But yes, but Walmart is stepping their game up. They have a couple of different sections of the store. So the bread that I was just talking about, it is a gluten-free vegan bread that I found at a luxury grocery store once before. I couldn't find it anywhere else. Found it in Walmart, $2 cheaper.
Now, is it a bread that you can just eat fresh, or do you have to
Yeah.
like toast it for it to taste good?
No, you can eat it fresh. I make sandwiches out of it. It's dry. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you it's perfect. It's dry, but it works.
Okay.
Especially for my digestive system.
Okay.
As much bread as we eat around here, because we eat a lot of sandwiches. I got a 5 and a 7 year old. I'm making almond butter and jelly sandwiches all the time. I'm making French toast. I'm doing whatever I can to give them something quick and easy to be like, here, take this, get out of my face.
I heard that.
But
Okay, well,
they're 5 and 7 year old boys, so they're constantly hungry.
I'm gonna have to try Walmart because I usually say I had some bad experiences. It's kind of ghetto, the one I used to go
It
to, so I
now,
kind of like stopped
I
going there.
now you definitely are. It is still I am. It is still Walmart. I'm not going to deny that. You still have to deal with poor customer service. You still have to deal with long lines, and you still have to deal with a lot of the typical Americans that shop at Walmart.
The one I used to go to, people go in there in their pajamas with their head bonnets on. I was like,
That's
y'all.
what I said. You, however, that is the cost you pay for getting a lower priced food.
Right, exactly. It's like, what do you want? But anyway, hey, I wanted to see. Well, you want to do something fun? You don't have to agree to do this, but um, oh, he's stuck. Come back, Jack. Oh, there you are. There
You
you are.
froze. It
I
was
said
you.
I wanted to do some. I froze.
Yeah. All right. So you
Really?
want to do something fun? Let's focus on it. You want to do
Oh,
something
I
fun? Let's
wanted
go.
to see if you wanted to bring like maybe a couple people on to ask you a question. Any question they want to ask.
Let's go for it. I'm down. I got a few more minutes before I need
Okay,
to go before
so
my
I
stomach
had
says
it.
eat.
Okay, maybe how long do you? 5 more minutes?
No, we good. We got about 10, 15 minutes. I'm starting
Okay,
to get
so
hungry.
you
I was
guys,
supposed
I'm
to eat
gonna
before I
go.
got here, but I didn't get a chance.
You say that again.
Don't worry about it. Me and my stomach will figure it out in a minute. Come on with your quick. Come on. Let's bring some folks
You
on.
guys,
If y'all wanna
anybody
if you are on here and you want to ask me any question about living plant based, fitness, the lifestyle, I'm here. It's an
request to
open book.
join, request to join to ask him a question. Now let me give you some rules because I had a bad experience in one of my interviews. I did this, and that brother came on there, talked for 10 minutes, and didn't even ask a question. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
we're
ask
gonna
one
keep it
question.
respectful.
Keep it respectful. One question. Once he answers it, then kindly let yourself go, and then, so we can bring someone on. So anybody else want to come on here
Yep.
while
So
we're
you can
waiting
come
for
in,
someone?
and if you are too shy to join and have your face on camera, because I know a lot of folks is shy, go ahead and put your question in the question box, and we'll get it answered for you.
Yeah. And while we're waiting for anybody to request, um, I always like to give you the opportunity to talk about your just tell everybody about your 90-day program and your 2 weeks detox. You guys, he talked about this in more depth on episode 3 of my podcast. So go check that out on our pages. Episodes 3, part 1 and 2. He talked about it more, but go ahead and just tell for the people who are watching today
Yeah.
in a brief overview.
So you know how most people want to live healthy, but they find it too difficult. So I created a system that makes living healthy simple. It's simple action steps that you can incorporate into your lifestyle that help you do what you need to do. It's 90 days. It gives you a complete meal plan. It tells you exactly what to eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you don't have to think for 90 days about what you're going to eat. It also gives you a workout plan that's customizable to your fitness level. You get accountability, you get coaching. There's one-on-one strategy sessions. You get my detox program as a bonus. There's a group coaching call every week. There's tons of benefits. There's a member library area where you have video. Slow down, Robert. There's a member video library area where you can get different knowledge about plant-based information. So if you are ready to take a step towards your health for yourself and invest in your health, DM me the word now and we'll start a
Yes.
conversation about what that can look like for you. If you go back and look at my reel from yesterday, oh no, that wasn't even yesterday, that was this morning. I posted a
Hold
reel
on,
this
Edward.
morning
Hold on, Edward. I'll bring you on. Go ahead.
posted a reel this morning of a client that's been in the program for 4 weeks and she's down 7 pounds already.
Oh,
And I didn't do anything. All I did was gave her the tools and
right.
help her work on her mindset and create a schedule that allows her to do what she needs to do. And that's how it's been working for her.
That's what's up.
That
I
is the
like that.
best
You
way to
guys,
transition
DM
a
him. I have
7-year-old to plant-based. My
Edward. I
first name
think
is
that's my
Tim Rose.
friend. He wants to ask you a question. I'm gonna bring him on.
All right, yeah, go ahead and bring him on. And while
Edward?
he comes on, I'm going to answer Constance's question.
Okay. Edward,
So I
I'm bringing you
completely
on.
understand, Constance. What I would recommend you do
What's up?
is to
Hold on one second.
show him show him by example. You start eating foods and make it fun. And then ask him if he'd like to join you. And then when you're at the grocery store, make it fun for him and say, "Hey, I'm going to give you a chance to try new fruits or new vegetables. Give him a chance to try new things." And as far as since chips are his thing, move to a healthier chip for now. Go to kettle cooked chips. There's a
Hmm.
brand called Siete that makes a kettle cooked chip with avocado oil. That's the healthiest oil you can eat with if you're going to eat oil. So there are different ways that you can wean them and very variations of foods that you can give him that are some of his favorites that will kind of move him away from it. But it all starts with you. You got to lead by example. You have to be the
Amen.
one already doing it and then make it okay for him to do it.
That's what's up. Thank you for sharing that. So we have
Absolutely.
Edward on the line.
Peace,
Edward,
peace,
me and
King.
Edward go way back. Hey, Edward, how are you?
What's up? What's up, Nicole?
Edward,
Hey,
meet Coach Robert. Coach Robert, meet Edward. What's
Peace,
your
okay.
King. How's it
question?
going today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, man. Excellent.
Good, good. I have a real important question.
Come
So
on
Talk
with
a
it.
little bit louder. A little bit louder, Edward.
He
I
loud enough. We can hear him.
I am now a high school football coach, but I have
Dope.
a guy that's a pescatarian. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yep. Pescatarian. So he eats chicken and fish still.
Right.
Yep.
How would you suggest that I would taper a workout to help him not so much get big but get stronger with his diet, because he was already strong as a bull when he came. I could tell where he lost weight, but now it's kind of losing strength too and a little bit of muscle mass. So are you familiar with
Mm.
how to kind of get that?
Yeah, so I mean, it really comes down to the variety of foods that he's eating and making sure that he is getting enough carbohydrates and proteins at the right level. So p- potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, quinoa, chickpeas, lentils. You don't necessarily have to resort to the chicken and fish. You can resort to some of these other foods that are going to have that healthier impact on them. And then time under tension. I mean, I know you're a coach, so you know about fitness, but time under tension. Instead of going for more weight or more
Hmm.
reps, go for time under tension, where you're doing isometric holds, or say if he's squatting say he's squatting 200, bring him down to 180, but now make him go do slow reps. Or
Okay, we've tried that. We've tried that. And this kid is like strong as a bull. He's like squatting almost 500 pounds. So he's really, really, really a strong kid. It's just that we're
right.
starting to lose some stuff with him. Is that better,
Mm.
Nicole? Can you hear me a little better?
So I mean, so without having a closer look at his everyday diet,
Hmm.
I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I would focus on making sure that he's getting healthy fats via nuts, seeds, and avocados. I'd make
Hmm.
sure that he's getting the healthy proteins from nuts, seeds, lentils, chickpeas, and quinoa. Replace rice with quinoa. Is going to get a double bang. He's going to get the carbohydrates he needs as well
Hmm.
as
Protein.
the protein.
Mm-hmm.
So you would say the
Um,
brown rice with the quinoa?
no. So brown rice over. I would do quinoa over brown rice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Do it by itself versus the brown rice.
Exactly. So I mean, you can mix them
Okay.
in together if he's feeling a way about it. But the way I cook quinoa to make it for everybody, cook it with instead of using water, cook it with vegetable broth.
Okay.
Mm.
But also when you wash your quinoa, you know how you wash your rice before you cook it. Wash your quinoa 3 times before you cook it.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
give it that deep dunk, rinse it
Right.
off. Give it that deep dunk, rinse it off. Give it a deep dunk. That third time, there's a coating on quinoa that makes it kind of bitter. And by rinsing it 2 or 3 times, you rinse that coating off, and it's a whole lot more palatable.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Learn something new every day. The old man is
But yeah,
talking.
so that's where I would go with it, is focus on especially if he's losing strength, I would focus on what fats he's eating instead of just the carbs and the proteins, because he may be
Right.
missing the fats, especially because you said that he's losing weight. So was he a full meat eater before and then transition to pescatarian?
Um, he's a sophomore, so kind of when we got him, he was saying that I don't know if he had just transitioned over, but you could tell he had a little bit more girth to him. And now that he's just
Okay.
eating the seafood, and it's you can see where he slimmed down.
Well, that's the
Mm.
good part. So the slimming down is not it. So when you say he's losing strength, so he's not able to do as many plates anymore,
He
or
could
is it function? Is it functionality? Because
everything
by cutting out the meat, he's definitely going to slim down
right.
automatically.
Okay. Okay. I think it's I think it's probably would be a little bit of strength and the functionality, but the function part we kind of got under control. We have under control, but I think that it's probably from the diet because the other, doctors, dietitian that I talked to, they said it probably is from he changed his diet right just suddenly.
Okay, so
Where
yeah, so
yeah,
make sure that he's getting his full nutrient spectrum. Make sure that he's eating more avocados, more walnuts, hemp seeds, flax seeds, stuff like that. So he's getting those healthy fats and the amino acids he needs so that his protein profile is where it needs to be. Because without knowing what he's eating day in and day out, it would be hard for me to tweak
yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
But in general, the healthy fats, enough protein, enough carbs, especially if we're talking about a teenage boy, load that boy up on healthy carbs. Because
Mm.
Okay.
people try to shy away from carbs because they think carbs are unhealthy. Carbs are not unhealthy. Processed carbs are unhealthy.
Right, right, right. What is
So
your definition of processed carb? Because the world has something totally different.
I'm gonna make it super simple for you with using one item, and I'm gonna walk you through the entire process of what a carb is. And a potato is the best example. You as a grown man could go eat two baked potatoes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. And it was getting good, huh?
I said, as a grown man, you could go eat two baked potatoes and be pretty doggone full.
Okay.
Or you can take those two baked potatoes, slice them real thin, throw a little oil on them,
Yeah.
put them in the oven, and make chips out of them. You might be a little
Okay.
bit, you might be a little less full, but cool. Or you can take them same two potatoes, dry them out, turn them into dust, put them with a bunch of other processed stuff, and make Doritos.
The processed stuff kind of got me stuck.
So you see how you can take a potato and you can eat it in its whole form and it still has all its fiber, it has all of its nutrients, all its
Right,
micronutrients. Or you can make a mashed potato out of it, a little bit processed. You can
right.
make a kettle cooked chip out of it, a little bit more processed. You lost a little bit more nutrients. Or you can turn it into a Dorito.
I pass. I'm not a Dorito fan, so
I use
that's out.
Doritos only as an example of showing you how
Yeah, no,
something
I
can
know.
go
Yeah,
from whole food to highly processed.
process. Yeah, got
So
you.
like the
So
process Whole Foods. So process. I'm sorry. Whole Foods is like the way it came to be, right?
Yeah.
correct.
Eating it
No.
the way
Yeah.
it came to be. Potato versus uh, crackers. Crackers are carbs and chips are
Yeah.
carbs, and those are all processed things. Whereas like potatoes, rice, beans, and things that's the way it came to the world. The way it was born.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
That
you
part.
original
know.
sin.
So
Yeah.
So and to give you another example, oats. You got steel
Yeah.
cut oats, you got
Yeah.
rolled oats, and then you got instant oats.
Right.
Instant oats have lost most of its nutrient profile,
Right.
especially if you buy the instant oats that are in the package already,
Package. Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's got the extra sugar, the extra
Yeah.
flavor, and the extra this and the
Yeah.
extra that. Now it just became unhealthy. Me and my boys eat oats at least 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And for your player, I would recommend oats with almond butter or peanut butter in it, because
Okay.
Mm.
now he's getting the healthy carbohydrates that he needs to sustain him for a long time, especially for a long workout, and he's getting the protein that he needs.
Okay. Okay.
However, So that's when I say healthy carbs. Carbs as close to their original form as
Original
possible is
form,
what's
yeah.
healthy. The more processed it is, the less healthy it is. And that's where you
Okay.
get the high glucose spikes, because at that point, your body just sees it as sugar, so it responds to it like that. Versus the potato, it sees it as a potato. Oh, there's some fiber here. I have to I have to move it around so to release all the nutrients from it.
Okay. Okay. And you answered another question I was going to ask you because, and let me see if I'm on the right track. So that with the processed food, that's how we become, because I see a lot
Louder,
of men.
Eric.
I
He's
oh
good.
I see
That
a
You
was
can
lot of
hear him? Hmm.
I see a lot of men with the pot belly, and that's a lot of insulin resistance. That's from the
yes, sir.
processed food. Okay. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right.
You got it. You hit it on the head. So what you're talking about, the pot belly that men walk around with, that is called visceral fat.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Visceral fat is the worst kind of fat that you can have because
Mm-hmm.
it's the kind of fat that clogs and block arteries.
Okay. Okay.
It's the kind of fat, visceral fat is the reason why you have men in their 30s with erectile dysfunction issues,
Right.
because visceral fats block blood flow. The only
Right.
thing that makes somebody stand up is blood flow.
Blood. Right.
And the bigger thing is, and this is something that I really need my men to hit home and my women to tap their men on the shoulder with. If you're having blood flow issues down there, you're having blood flow
Blood
issues
flow.
in your heart.
Heart. Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
And I need you to understand that one of the 6 of the top 10 killers of adults in America are lifestyle illnesses. One of them being cardiac issues and heart disease, are 2 of them actually. They
Right.
separate them.
Right.
And
Right.
then for people of color, us, that number is higher. So
Right.
men, you got to clean it up. Cut out the processed foods, cut out the meat, cut out the dairy. Eat more whole food. I'm not telling you to cut everything out.
Right.
And I said, yes, I am. I'm not going to be that guy. Cut it all out. Your house is on damn fire right now. I was going to
Right.
try to soft pedal it. It's got to go.
Right.
We are dying at an alarming rate, which means we're leaving our younger generation without men to guide them.
Right. Got you. Got you. It's a long-term effect. It's a domino effect. And I think that some men don't understand it. Now, I'm gonna tell you just a little bit, and Nicole knows this. I had prostate cancer 2 years ago, and so they caught it just in time, but it was an aggressive
Mm.
form of prostate cancer. Wasn't hereditary when I found out, but I did find out that it's dietary. That those things that we are just talking about now, because my job I went to the night shift, so I'm eating a lot of processed food. And so that processed fat starts all of this in motion. And next thing I know, bam, I get diagnosed. So I got it early,
And
but I changed my
well,
diet.
I'm
Uh,
so proud of you,
yeah,
brother. So
yeah.
proud of you, man.
Thank you. I changed my diet. I'm not a full-time plant-based, but that's taken more than 40%, which is big for me because
That's what's up.
I'm a big meat eater. And so I found out my wife started making me eat more chicken and more fish. And so those are the things we've been eating. And so I went from after the surgery, I went up to almost 230. And now I'm down to 196 when I stepped on the scales yesterday.
Good job.
So,
That's what's up.
so
That's what's
yeah,
up. So it's still. I'm going to implore you to incorporate more of the beans and legumes to phase out some of that fish and chicken, only because it's still high in cholesterol. It's still
right,
high in unhealthy fats, which is going to lead to cholesterol and still can lead to other, because they've
yeah,
tied chicken and fish to heart disease as well.
right,
So
right, right,
that's why if your house is on fire, put
put it
put
out.
it out. Don't
Yeah.
run back in for the family photo album.
Mm.
I
You know
like
what I'm
that.
saying?
I like that. Yes, sir.
Now, for my younger people who your house is not on fire, you're not diabetic, you haven't been diagnosed with this, that, or the third yet, you may have a little bit more time. You can take a piecemeal approach to phasing these things out, but you still need to find a way to phase it out completely, because We live in a capitalistic society.
Right.
This system was not built for you to be healthy. It was
Right.
built and designed for you to make money. Think about this. The same people who are in
Yes.
charge of your food that you
Yes.
eat, that's supposed to nourish you, are in charge of the drugs that they give you when you get sick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Well, thank you, Edward. Thank
Yeah,
you so
no,
much
thank
for
you
coming
guys.
on here. I hope you got a lot of answers
I
and
stopped eating
some
meat because
help.
of the hormones. Yes, I appreciate that,
Nice
Stacy. But
meeting you, Coach.
you as well, brother. I hope that
All
was
right.
helpful for you, and I hope
It
that helps
was
the
very
kids out,
helpful.
brother.
All
It
right.
was a
Thank you,
blessing.
Edward.
Thank
Peace.
you.
Thank you for joining today.
Thank you for having me.
Um, do you have time to answer 2 questions in the inbox, Robert? And then I'll let you
Yep.
go because I
Let's
know you
go.
need to eat.
Let's go.
Okay.
I can sit and do this all day, I feel like, but I know I got to eat.
444 Butterflyery. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, and I hope you're still on here. She said, do you recommend flaxseed powder or chia powder?
Both. Why have
Okay.
one when you can have both?
Yeah. Just change it
Because
up. I kind of switch out
and the
on that.
reason being is they both have different nutrient profiles. They both have healthy fats. They both have healthy aminos, but they're different
Mm-hmm.
and they're used differently. So
Yeah.
depending on
What you want.
how you what you're cooking and what you're looking for, you may need flax egg versus chia egg.
Like
You're
for
basically
me,
making flax egg and chia egg. For those who don't know, you just put water on the flaxseed or the chia and let it turn into this little gel, and then it works just like egg whites.
interesting. Because like I use chia seeds for my plant-based yogurt. I put it in at night to let it absorb. I
It helps
prefer
cooking.
that over flaxseed. But when I do smoothies, I prefer flax powder or whatever instead of chia.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what you want. And
Yeah.
then the next question, Fem Dara says, can you point me in the direction of a good protein powder? And then she also says, how do you properly clean your fruits and veggies?
All right. So
Is veggie wash good enough?
I don't use veggie wash. I don't waste my money on other stuff like that. I am cheap and old school. I dump all of my fruits and veggies in the sink with some warm water, some vinegar, and some baking soda.
Okay, the old school natural
And I'm
way.
done. Rinse
Okay,
it off, and I'm done. As far
good.
as protein powder, there is not a specific brand that I promote. There was one that I was liking, but I think they went out of business. However, if you get hemp seed powder and pea powder, it's going to say pea protein powder. Just those two naturally by themselves,
Hmm.
it's perfectly fine. And
Okay.
the reason why I do that is because most other powders or the store-bought powders have some form of a preservative in it or some other blend of other stuff that is like, I'll just take my hemp seed, I'll take my pea protein, and I'm done. Because I know a tablespoon of each one of those gives me about 13 grams of protein.
Okay. And last question, and then same person, Fem Dara, she says, do you have insight on the new laws coming into effect with the healing herbs and access to them? Let me say that again, because do
No,
you have insight?
I have not paid any attention to any new legislation that has come out because what they gonna
Come back, Robert. Come back.
so I don't keep up with with most legislation, so I do not because they gonna write whatever laws they want to write, and I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna need to do anyway. So that's why I stock up on heirloom seeds, and I'm ready to grow my own stuff when SIHC hit the fan.
Thank you. Thank you so much once again for all your wonderful knowledge sharing with us. I enjoyed learning
I'm good
about
to
your
be
7
here.
days on fruits and juices and all the other information you gave us today. And thank you for all the questions that you guys asked, Coach Robert. Thank everybody for tuning in and joining us today. Appreciate that. Do you have anything that you want to leave us? Something positive? It could be a quote. It could be just anything positive. Robert, coach.
I was reading the message there. So
Oh,
make it simple. It's it's not hard. Make it simple. You already know what to do. Get out of your own way and go do it. And if you cannot get out of your own way, be humble enough to ask for help.
yes.
There's
Don't be
tons
afraid.
of help out there. There's me. There's Lady Key. There are so many people in this space that are doing it from a place of genuine wanting to help you, that there's no reason for you to say, I don't know what to do. Use YouTube University, TikTok University, use all of these free resources to get the information. You spend time scrolling anyway, you might as well be intentional and look up the information that you need that's going to
Mm,
make you healthier, because the information is not going to fall in your lap. And they dang, I'm doing my best, because it's certain times I curse, but I know after your last experience you're a little traumatized. They daggone the school system is never going to teach you what you need to know to be free, because they benefit from you not being free and
right.
having the knowledge of how to take care of your body and stay healthy. Because if you
Mm,
did, you would put half of the food manufacturers out of business, half of the pharmaceutical companies out of business. And when you start putting those kind of businesses that are too big to fail out of business, um, that's when people start, you know what I'm saying, making a big hurrah, hurrah about something and leading misinformation campaigns and telling you milk does a body good. Well, all right,
amen.
let me stop.
Thank
I'm
you
going
so
off on a
much.
tangent.
Just want to say thank you guys again for watching. Thank you again, Coach Robert, for giving me your time. I always enjoy speaking with you. You're still one of my favorites.
Yeah, thanks. I'm
Just want to leave
so
you all. I always like to say this at the end of my interviews, that you're all blessed and you're highly favored. You are all destined for greatness. Okay. God bless you all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tonight I do have my 6:30 p.m. Podcast with Kamar Brown. He ate fruit and vegetables for 90 days. So tune in if you're available. Want to get his talk about his experience, and make sure you guys follow Coach Robert Moore. Although he don't need no more followers. No, I'm just playing. I'm just
Come on
kidding.
with it.
You guys follow.
Every person in the audience is another person I can help influence, that can help
That's
some other
right.
folks influence, and that's what it's all about.
That's right. You guys, if you're interested in his 90-day, uh, damn, my mind
Program
just went.
D. If you're interested in a 90-day program, DM me the word now, because
Yes.
now is the time to take action, not tomorrow, because tomorrow ain't promised. I guarantee you.
Amen. It's not promised. You never know. You just never know. So you guys make sure you hit them up if you're interested in getting in better shape, better health. You want to lose weight, hit them up. Um, and yeah, that's it. If you guys are interested in my YouTube, it's in my bio. If you're interested in supporting you like this kind of content, that's also in my bio. I appreciate everybody for joining in. And Coach Robert, thank you. Now you can go eat.
Peace.
Just
Till
kidding.
later, y'all. Live healthy.
Yes. God bless you, Coach.
Peace.
Bye.